This portion of Lifestyles is sponsored by Gary Price, elder law attorney.
Needing Medicaid assistance? If so, Gary Price, our expert in elder law, has some advice before you make some decisions. Good morning.
Good morning.
So what are we talking about here? I mean, it's true of all the things you've walked us through that there's just so much to know and so many questions to ask, Gary.
There is. And so there's a distinction here. Planning for Medicaid and executing the plan.
Well, there's that.
Two different things. So the executing the plan part, you know, we do that within 30 days. That's probably a little bit long, 15 to 30 days from when we want Medicaid eligibility to begin. That's when we execute the plan. But planning, that's, you know, you can't start that too soon. That's a matter of knowing what you need to do and then also knowing when you need to begin doing that process. And so again, you can't do that too soon.
Well, it's one of those things, and we talked about this before, these are uncomfortable topics nobody wants to think about, and so it's really easy to bracket that out and say, I'll talk to you about my estate, I'll talk to you about, you know, my will or whatever, but not that, and we need to talk about it.
Well, it can be a costly mistake, because we've talked about this, that if you go into a nursing home facility, for example, you know, the $7,000 to $9,000 a month. And we've also talked about this. Medicaid begins, you're either eligible on the first day of the month or you're not. So if you delay that planning and you delay that executing of the plan just a day, we could get you eligible on the second day of the month, but you still have to wait till the first day of the next month. That's a $7,000 to $9,000 mistake. That's what we need to avoid.
Money you pay out of your pocket.
That's out of pocket.
Is that the most common mistake?
That's a very common mistake. Okay. The most common, I still think the most common might be the gifting side of it, but delay and waiting to the last minute can cause a financial problem.
All right, people are watching as they do when you're on the show. What's the next step? All right, they're going to, okay, I'm determined now, I'm going to start my planning. What's the next step in calling you or whatever?
So get the book.
Get the book.
That's the first step. And then inside the book, there's a consultation, free consultation, and we'll talk about your particular situation. You know, every plan is different based upon what your assets and what your resources are. And so we'll discuss that. So that's the first step. We can talk about what needs to be done specifically based upon your resources.
Right, and as you said, it's different for everyone. Is there something, you've got the book there, is there other advice about prepping for that first meeting? What do they need to bring? And
you know, I always ask the question, because Medicaid asks this question, basically an inventory of resources. What do you own? What bank accounts? What investment accounts? Whose name it's in? Those type of things. Insurance policies, often forgotten. Life insurance policies. We'll ask questions about that. So a nice inventory of what you have. And most people know that. Most people come in with, they're ready to talk about that. They have that inventory in line, and that's good. They may have had to do that inventory in preparation for the meeting. A lot of people don't have that ready, and so usually that's the prep.
That's the step. How do we get the book?
So call my office, 812-475-8444. We'll send you a free copy.
Thank you, Gary.
All right, thank you.
As always, we'll be back with more Lifestyles right after this. Stay with us.
This portion of Lifestyles is sponsored by Gary Price, elder law attorney.